Justice, however delayed, now finds its mark. His actions were not just a crime of passion, but a meticulously planned execution. Justice, however delayed, now finds its mark. His actions were not just a crime of passion, but a meticulously planned execution.
Holy smokes. This game looks intense. Turn the lights off and get ready for some criminal investigation. Let's put our detective skills to. Gameplay will begin shortly.
Now finds its mark. His actions were not just a crime of passion, but a meticulously planned execution. Justice, however delayed, now finds its mark. His actions were not just a crime of passion, but a meticulously planned execution. Justice, however delayed, now finds its mark. His actions were not crime of passion, but a meticulously planned execution. Justice, however delayed, now finds its mark. His actions were not just a crime of passion, but a meticulously planned execution. Justice, however delayed, now finds its mark. His actions were not just a crime of passion, but a meticulously planned execution.
Start this up.
Justice, however delayed, now finds its mark.
We got no evidence. Let's start the game.
Welcome, investigator. I'm Dr. Eleanor Vaughn, Chief Medical Examiner, and you're about to embark on a journey through evidence, logic, and deduction. 3 cases remain unsolved, and it's up to you to uncover the truth. Each case holds secrets buried beneath lies, deceit, and pain. Choose wisely, because every decision you make will either bring you... Every murder is like the visible tip of an iceberg. The real story lies hidden beneath the details. Elena Marlowe, a journalist's silent scream. Forrest, a witness to secrets and death. Who wanted to silence her? Thomas Blackwood, a murder in the triangle of money, power, and revenge. A banker's death could rewrite millions in accounts. Isabella Romano, a mother's death, a dark plan executed in a silent home beside a sleeping child. Which veil do you lift?
Oh, we get to pick. We get to pick, huh? Alright. So do we do Elena, Thomas, or Isabella? Which one do we pick first? We'll do one each time, so that way it's different.
B.
You said B, I think. Let me... Hold on a second. I need to... The game is pretty loud. Alright, so I heard B. We do Thomas first. Like I said, we'll do this one today, and then we'll spread it out and do another one like a couple days from now. Here we go. Let's start with Thomas.
Dr. Heinrich Weber reviews crime scene photos showing banker Thomas Blackwood's body found in the Premier Plaza basement. Dr. Heinrich Weber reviews crime scene photographs from the Premier Plaza office complex, where the body of international investment banker Thomas Blackwood was discovered in a basement storage room. The victim was found in a prone position, showing multiple blunt force trauma to the head. Evidence suggests the attack took place in his office, and the body was later transported to the storage room. Initial examination reveals several defensive wounds to the victim's hands, indicating a desperate struggle before death. The victim's watch, which was shattered during the attack, stopped at exactly 21:42, probably due to the force of the impact. The office shows clear signs of a violent struggle, with overturned furniture, shattered glass, and blood spatter patterns, all pointing to multiple impacts. These signs suggest the victim fought back fiercely, trying to defend himself before succumbing to repeated strikes.
Okay.
Building security logs show the victim's keycard was last used at 1930, marking his last known movement in the building. The security cameras on the executive floor were disabled between 21 o'clock and 22:15, creating a window of opportunity for the killer. This suggests the attacker had knowledge of the security system, making it more likely the crime was planned and deliberate. Victim's phone reveals multiple threatening messages regarding a failed investment scheme that cost clients millions. The messages, sent by several different contacts, indicate a growing sense of frustration and anger from those affected. Some of the messages hint at a personal vendetta, suggesting the victim had made powerful enemies in the business world. The storage room, which usually requires separate security access, shows clear signs of tampering with the locking system. This tampering suggests that the perpetrator had specific knowledge of the security protocols in place and may have deliberately bypassed them in order to move the victim's body. It also raises questions about whether the killer had inside knowledge. Autopsy reveals death occurred between 21:30 and 22 o'clock. Several employees reported unusual behavior from the victim in the days leading up to his death, including heated arguments and signs of stress. This suggests potential conflict with a colleague or business partner. 3 main suspects have been identified: Lawrence Chen, the head of a rival firm, Maria Delgado, a former client who lost millions of dollars, and Peter Schmidt, a recently fired security chief. Each had a motive that raised questions about their involvement in the murder. Investigators are investigating their possible connections to the crime.
As chief medical examiner, I find myself confronted with a fascinating convergence of forensic evidence. The brutality of this crime presents us with distinct investigative pathways, each offering unique insights into the perpetrator's methodology and psychology. Now, choose our primary focus. Review building security logs, technical analysis of access patterns. Examine autopsy findings, detailed forensic pathology. Investigate financial records. Follow the money trail.
So we have the choice to make. We can either review the security logs, which will tell us information about, him scanning his key cards, other people potentially in the building at that time. We can examine the body and see if we can find any physical evidence on the corpse, or we can investigate his financial records. My thought would be to start with an investigation. You think the security logs? Why? Let's do that.
Security logs reveal Peter Schmidt's access card was used after his termination date, indicating unauthorized access. Camera footage shows Schmidt arguing with victim 2 days before murder. Building maintenance records indicate Schmidt knew blind spots in security system. Schmidt's personal keycard accessed multiple restricted areas night of murder. The security office is plunged into darkness as cameras go offline. Schmidt launches a swift raid, moving with precision through the space. Evidence shows Schmidt tampered with backup security systems, disabling key cameras and alarm triggers.
What would you have done?
We can do them all, so I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I would have started with the financial records. So let's do that one.
Financial records reveal significant fund transfers to offshore accounts, pointing to potential money laundering activities. These transfers, traced back to Lawrence Chen's firm, suggest he may have been involved in illicit financial schemes. Investigators are now focusing on these irregularities as a possible motive for the murder. Maria Delgado's life savings vanished in a fraudulent investment scheme orchestrated by Thomas Blackwood. The substantial financial loss devastated her, leaving her financially ruined and emotionally shattered. Evidence shows Delgado had confronted Blackwood multiple times about her lost funds, growing increasingly desperate and angry. This financial betrayal provides a strong motive for revenge, making her a key suspect in the investigation. Evidence from Blackwood's personal files reveals he had been blackmailing multiple clients, including Maria Delgado. He used threats of exposing their financial missteps to force compliance. The discovery of these extortion attempts on the night of the murder, Delgado's phone GPS data placed him near the building, raising suspicions of his involvement. Although security cameras failed to capture him directly, this absence could mean that he didn't enter the building himself. Instead, it suggests that Delgado may have organized the crime by instructing someone else to carry out the act on his behalf. Security footage confirms Delgado did not enter the building herself. Instead, a person acting on her behalf, likely an assistant, was seen entering in business attire. This raises the question, was this person following Delgado's orders or involved in the events that night? After the victim's death, threatening letters sent from Delgado's account were revealed, confirming that Delgado was directly responsible for the ominous threats.
Okay, so if we start putting these pieces together, it looks like the security guard actually killed the person, the victim, right? But it looks like he might have been sent by Delgado. So let's go ahead and get the last piece of information. What we're doing is we're trying to stitch it together because it's probably going to ask us who and why. It's probably. So right now, Delgado's got a motive. And so does the security officer. Let's see what we can find with the autopsy and see what we can get here.
Detailed autopsy reveals unique impact patterns suggesting specialized equipment.
Okay.
Trace evidence includes high-end carpet fibers from the rival firm's office building, indicating Schmidt may have been at the scene before the murder occurred. The fibers, which match those found on his clothes. The bruising marks on the victim suggest controlled and precise force. The specific placement and depth of the bruises suggest that the attacker used a well-practiced technique, likely targeting vulnerable areas of the body. DNA found under the victim's fingernails matched a profile linking to the attacker. The time of death closely matches Lawrence Chen's known training schedule. This coincidence raises questions about where he was in the critical window for the murder. Given that Chen had a disciplined routine and that the murder occurred during his regular training session, this timing suggests a possible connection. The victim's defensive wounds suggest the attacker was left-handed, as the strikes appear to come from a dominant left hand.
Okay. So we know that the victim didn't have any gunshots, that it was all blunt force trauma based on a specialized weapon, but it didn't say what type of weapon. It said that the person that was hitting him was left-handed, which I think is important. So right now, all three of the people we suspect have motive. Now it's just trying to figure out some more evidence.
Another piece of evidence potentially linked to the killer was the special trophy found in the victim's office. Trace evidence suggests the killer used the service elevator to transport the victim's body, likely to avoid detection by the main security cameras. Surveillance footage from inside the elevator shows signs of a struggle, with the victim's blood stains on the floor and walls. Partial fingerprints recovered from the trophy base reveal a potential link to the perpetrator, suggesting they may have touched it during or after the crime. When the body was moved to the storage room, most of the drag marks in the elevator were cleaned. Could the building's janitorial staff have been involved in this?
Our initial investigation has yielded compelling evidence, colleagues. The forensic narrative is taking shape, but crucial pieces remain elusive. The blood spatter patterns tell a story of rage, yet the precision of the body's relocation suggests methodical planning. Select our final investigative focus. Focus on Peter Schmidt's security access, technical expertise analysis. Investigate Lawrence Chen's connections, physical combat expertise evaluation. Pursue Maria Delgado lead, financial motivation assessment.
All right, so I'm not sure if we get to pick 3 again, or if we only get to pick 1. So we can focus on Peter Schmidt's security access, and we know from the previous evidence that Peter was in the building during the time of the incident. So he has a pretty strong case against him. We also know that Lawrence Chen he didn't have an alibi during the time that he normally does his workout. And he's a very regimented person, and the fact that he wasn't where he said he was raises a great deal of suspicion. And Maria Delgado, I don't think was involved in the crime, but she may have been working with either Lawrence or Peter. And so I'm thinking Maria's involved, but either Lawrence or Peter are the murderers. I would like to maybe say, if it were up to me, I would focus in on Peter for right now. But I'm open to other options. I'm thinking it's A, but if you think it's something else, feel free to suggest. Feel free. I'm thinking Peter. Because Peter has some explaining to do as to why he was in the building during that hour.
The investigation reveals that Schmidt deliberately falsified his security credentials, granting himself unauthorized access to restricted areas of the building. This calculated move allowed him to bypass standard protocols and avoid detection, further implicating him in the premeditated nature of the crime. His actions suggest prior knowledge of the building's vulnerabilities. Schmidt's locker contains the victim's missing personal items. This discovery directly links him to the crime scene.
See?
Evidence of premeditated security system tampering. Investigators believe the plan was set in motion days before the murder. Schmidt's phone contains detailed messages and notes outlining the victim's daily routine, including meeting schedules, meal times, and regular routes through the building. This level of surveillance suggests that Schmidt had been closely monitoring the victim for a long time, carefully planning his movements. The discovery of this information further strengthens the case against Schmidt, revealing his calculated and methodical approach to crime. Blood found on Schmidt's hand immediately raises suspicions, suggesting his direct involvement in the violent confrontation.
So we can pick more than one. Okay, so we're still who would you like to go to next? I thought Peter first. Who would you like to interview? Just in case if they won't let us do all three. We can do Lawrence Chin, who doesn't have an alibi for the missing time and also had a grudge with Mr. Blackwood, or we can go with Maria. But Maria didn't kill him.
The last one.
But she has information. I think that's a good call. Yeah.
Delgado's financial records show significant losses due to failed investments and mounting debts. Stolen files could provide significant leverage to allow the victim to collaborate with business partners and enemies. Delgado could manipulate key players using sensitive information. Building cameras revealed Delgado entering the executive floor without authorization, and the timing of his presence aligns with key events surrounding the murder. Surveillance footage shows him entering the area at a critical window when the victim was likely still alive. Several important pieces of evidence were uncovered in Delgado's car trunk, including items that appeared to have a direct connection to the crime scene. The findings included personal items belonging to the victim and tools that could have been used in the murder. These items not only raise suspicions about Delgado's involvement, but also suggest premeditation, as they point to possible planning and preparation prior to the crime. Financial records reveal Delgado transferred funds from the office safe to cover gambling debts. Delgado faces certain prosecution for theft, but Detective Park's suspicions deepen as evidence connects him to the crime scene.
So we can do the last one. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do Chin and see what we can do with that. So here's what's strange. Maria Delgado is a man. They keep, well, it doesn't mean it's a man, but they keep using the pronouns he.
Chen's company files reveal a covert takeover attempt aiming to force Blackwood out of the market. Surveillance shows Chen entering the building via the underground parking garage, bypassing the main entrance, raising suspicions. The timing of his entry matches the victim's last known movements. Strong evidence has emerged that Chen deliberately destroyed the victim's business records in an attempt to conceal critical information. Forensic analysis of the data reveals a pattern of deliberate interference, including the deletion of emails, contracts, and financial statements. The destruction of these records appears to have been a calculated move by Chen to protect his own interests. Chen's DNA has been definitively confirmed through forensic analysis of crime scene samples, linking him directly to the location of the victim's death.
Okay. So both Peter Schmidt and Chen, so they're all working together?
Dr. Vaughn's detailed analysis shows the killer was skilled, yet emotionally involved in the brutal and personal attack. The forensic team's analysis of trace evidence and biochemical markers creates a timeline of events. The final forensic review combines detailed physical evidence with behavioral analysis. Dr. Vaughn's team will examine the various elements of the crime scene, including wound patterns, to uncover whether the actions of the perpetrator suggest a personal connection to the victim. This connection may reveal motives rooted in emotions or personal grievances, which go beyond the apparent financial or professional factors.
Fellow investigator, the Thomas Blackwood case presents us with one of the most intriguing forensic puzzles I've encountered. Our extensive analysis has led us to 3 potential perpetrators, each with compelling evidence both for and against sense their guilt.
Yeah, they do.
The physical evidence tells multiple stories, precise blunt force trauma patterns, sophisticated security breaches, and a complex web of financial motives. But as any experienced forensic investigator knows, the truth often hides in the details we least expect. Key technical observations: blunt force trauma indicating both range and precision, complex security system interference, blood spatter pattern suggesting close-range attack, evidence of premeditated planning, crucial timing of events between 2130 and 2200. Looking at our suspects: Peter Schmidt, former security chief access, knowledge, and a vendetta. Lawrence Chen, rival executive physical capability and corporate motive. Maria Delgado, defrauded client, financial ruin, and personal vengeance. The evidence before us tells a story, investigator. One of these three individuals committed this murder. The forensic evidence makes that certain. But which one truly fits all the pieces of our puzzle?
What? We have to pick one now? We can't do anything else? We have to pick one based on that? Oh man, okay. So let's sort of review the whole picture in our head. Okay? The victim was in their office. Someone comes in. All of this is in the evening, by the way. Someone comes into the office, bypasses all of the security, right? And then uses an object that has a special design to hit the victim with, right? The victim is pronounced deceased in the office and is moved from the office to the other with no camera seeing it and no records. Peter Schmidt has all of the capability to pull this off because Peter had already used an illegal or an unauthorized security card to get into the building. So he shouldn't have even been there, right? And he had some of the victim's possessions in his locker. So why would he do that? And then there was also physical evidence to suggest. But if we look at Lawrence also had physical evidence of being present during the crime.
Or B.
You think it's either A or B? I think so too. I think it's one of these two guys. I'm leaning more towards Peter than Lawrence. Because how would Lawrence know how to bypass the security system? Because Lawrence worked for a different... He didn't work in that building. He worked for a different company. So why would he have so much information about So I think it's Peter. Peter has a motive. He's got the ability. He had the know-how. There's physical evidence. He took trophies. He took things from the crime scene, which is usually something you see when there's like a crime of passion or rage. You know? So I feel like, let's say it's Peter.
In the end, the truth was unmistakable. The killer was Peter Schmidt, the recently fired security chief. His motive was revenge, fueled by humiliation and the financial ruin that followed his dismissal. The evidence was there all along. His access card, used after his termination date. The security systems tampered with by someone who knew them intimately. And the surveillance blackout that coincided perfectly with the time of death.
We said that too.
Schmidt's knowledge of the building's blind spots allowed him to strike swiftly, leaving little trace behind. As for the others, Lawrence Chen may have had a motive, but the timing of his boxing training and the lack of access to security systems
We said that.
ruled him out.
Yep.
The fibers from his office were a misdirection, planted to frame him. Maria
Okay,
Delgado had motive and opportunity, but her whereabouts were confirmed by multiple witnesses.
So she had an
and
alibi.
her threats, though aggressive, were nothing more than empty words.
Yep.
In the end, only Schmidt possessed the combination of access, knowledge, and rage
Yep,
necessary
and that's
to
what we
carry
said.
out the murder with such brutal efficiency. His actions were not just a crime of passion, but a meticulously planned execution. Justice, however delayed, had finally caught up to him.
That's exactly what we said. It played out just like we thought. We're good. We're good at this. So you have to pay attention to a lot of things, because a couple of those guys, you could have easily thought that it was Chen. But like I said, Chen just didn't. Everything made sense for Chen except for the know-how. But it did throw me off that his evidence was at the scene. But my initial thought was maybe he was working with Schmidt. Why is it just going to stay like this? Do I have to push a button? Okay. It's thinking. It's doing something. Did it freak out? I'm freaking out. Okay. So we got the first one. So how much? That wasn't very long for one case. How long? That was only about 30 minutes for one. But still, what we'll do is we will stop. And we'll save the next case. So it looks like each of these cases is 30 minutes. I thought we would be doing more investigating than this. This is more of a sit, watch, and think. So you can review all of the evidence, but you're going to get one shot at picking a suspect. But yeah, let's switch to something else. I'm up for suggestions. If anybody has another game that they want to play, we're going to stop this. Let's switch to something else. I already did Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
What is next?
So, I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. I'll do one more for, I'm thinking, maybe 1 hour. I thought this would last a little bit longer. This game lasted about 30 minutes for one. So if we would have done all three of them right now, then this is an hour and a half. But it looks like each one is 30 minutes. So why don't we do this? I'm going to stop. I'm not sure, so I'm open to suggestions. If there's anything that you want to see, we can switch to that. I'm not looking for something too involved, though. I just want something that's kind of low-key. So either something like either Wheel of Fortune or
The new game.
we did Family Feud the other day. This is the new game. You talking about another new game? I mean, I do have other new games, but I didn't plan on playing those today. I can pick one of those. Do you want to see a new game? Because I did finish those two series the other day. I finished Little Misfortune and I finished Telling Lies, so I can bring in another new game.
For trivia.
Let's see. I'm not ready to do the new trivia game yet. I want to save that for the game night. I do have a game night on the schedule, and I was gonna do that during the game night. So yeah, so if you check the upcoming videos, there is I think it's Sunday. I was going to do a Sunday game night. Any other suggestions? So now that I know how long these take, I'll make sure to factor the time. I wasn't sure how long this would take, so that's why I did it like that with the time frame in mind. So I'm not completely sure.
You pick.
Okay, dope. Alright, give me a second. I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to look at what I have. I'm going to save the game shows for our game show night, where we'll play, Wheel of Fortune, Family Feud, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, and then I'll bring in the new game. But I'll pick something new, and I'll be back in maybe like about 5-10 minutes, if even that. Alright, so we'll see you in a little bit.